What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard. It is Trading Live with Bubba. What's going on? Well, I don't know. The markets are getting pummeled. That's certainly something that's going on as we continue to watch this overall beatdown of the markets. Let me just share my screen here. Hold on. There we go. So as you can see, there hasn't been a lot of action. There's been some things to do today, but nothing dramatic. Volume is still light. The volatility is spiking. Markets are well below the equities are all below their 200-day moving average, which is there's an old saying on Wall Street: the bears live below the 200-day moving average. The bulls live above. I would suspect that in the next day or two, you're going to get a pretty substantial rally. You've got CPI tomorrow and PPI Thursday, so I would expect to see some pretty big action towards the upside, and not because I'm bullish nor bearish, but because we are extremely oversold as we have been for quite a while, and markets will make some sort of adjustment at some point. There hasn't been a lot of trades here. There was a trade here in the NASDAQ a few minutes ago. We obviously weren't here, so I'm not going to discuss it, but that was a potential sell. The trade we put on last week worked out pretty well, and we did make money on our day trading, so that worked out well as well. But again, right now there is not a lot going on. I mean, I live trade every morning with members, and we had one trade there. It was a nice winner, but we had one trade. It was right here. It was a sell of gold right there. Made a couple $100 on it. So again, my point is that it's still very challenging and very tough in these conditions right now because we're not getting enough panic. As you can watch, for example, the Dow pattern on a daily basis, there's been no reaction. It's just been straight sellers. The Nasdaq's been a little bit of action. The Russell, pretty much straight sellers since opening higher. The Dow, the S&P, pretty much straight selling. So there hasn't been a lot of what we call two-way action in the market. And I think that's important to understand as well. It looks like potentially we could be getting a potential trade coming here in gold. And we'll watch and see if that pans out. But everything else is, again, it's kind of quiet, which is not good for what we're looking for. The VIX is bouncing again a little bit. But we haven't seen really the panic sell off or anything of that nature yet. Again, that's what we have to watch for. In the meantime, it does look like the gold will be a trade. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Right now, if we get a trade, the stop will be 29.30. Should we get a trade, but we do not have a trade as of yet. Again, that's the beauty of it. We know what we have to wait for, and I'm going to be watching. But I also have one other thing that needs to be taken care of as we are speaking right now. So if I turn away, don't sweat. It's okay. I'm here. I'm not doing anything. I'm just letting you know that there are things that I have to take care of real quick here. And I want you to be aware that I am paying attention to you. And we're still waiting for the trade to appear here. Okay. And is there anything else happening? No, just gold at the moment. So let's wait for the trade to trigger, and it will trigger at some point. Okay. Now the stop now would be 29.31. Okay, 29.31 would be the stop. So be aware of that. But we do not have a trade yet. So there's nothing for us to do. We have to wait for the signal. We need a red bar. That signal, we're going to be a seller. We know that. So let it, as I always say, let it keep rallying because we know we're selling anyways. Okay. Hold on 1 second. So again, we're waiting. Let it go. It's okay with us. Let it keep running. Okay. Again, we know we're going to sell. So let it keep going up. That's the beauty of the model that we're trading. It doesn't matter to us. We're happy because we know we're selling. So if we got in too early, we could get stopped out too early. So now, again, we're going to watch. Our stop would now be higher. The stop would be 29.32. Okay, so let's continue to watch. And we'll get to the rest of the stuff as well. But again, obviously, we do have a trade that we're looking to get into. So we do have to watch it to make sure that we can get in. Okay. And it's still spiking, so that's fine. Again, remember, we're going to be a seller, so let it keep spiking higher until it gives us the opportunity. Now, this may be coming here. The stop is going to be at 32.50. Okay, and you can see the index there spiking. They could be coming into a potential sell now as well. Look at that. Okay, but there's a little bit light on buy them, so we'll wait and see. But we do have the potential gold trade, but we still have to wait and see where it is. But we are getting a pretty, which is what we expected. Now, again, I don't know if this is going to continue or if this is another false start. Okay, that's the one thing that we have to be prepared for. Is this another false start in the rally venue, or is this going to be the actual rally that's going to continue? Again, we're going to see. At one point, we're going to get what we like to call a rip your face off rally. Okay, and that will happen, and it's just a question of being prepared for it, which is kind of what the blow off does. So it looks like we're going to get our potential trade here. We're still got to wait 30 seconds. Okay, again, these are important things. When you're trading like this, you have to wait for the signals to appear. Otherwise, you're just guessing. And if we just take a quick peek, hold on. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, guys. I just got to take care of something. But again, we have no trade. I'm not going to miss the trade. I promise you that. Okay. That much I assure you. We will not miss. But we are getting a pretty sharp rally here. Okay. And again, we're still waiting. We have not gotten a trigger signal yet. That was a flat bar. So it's still going up. So let it go. In the meantime, the indexes have now turned positive. Okay, a couple of them. So we'll see. We'll be ready for that. Let's just see if there's anything here. And there's not. See, there's no volume to go along with this buying. So only in gold do we have the overall potential. Okay, and that's what we want to continue to watch for. Okay, and be prepared for is where we're going to be. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, so looks like might get the trade here with a stop at 33. Okay, stop at 33, 29.33. And we do not have a trade yet. You can see we're going back up again. So we're not, the bar is not confirming the trade that we're looking for. And let's just take a look if anything else has changed since we last looked. See, no volume, no volume, no volume, no volume. So that means that there's no emotion to trade. This is still, and this looks like we're going to get it here. And the stop, as I said, will be 33. But again, we're not there now. Now you can go ahead and take this trade if you want. 33 is your stop. Now I trade 5 at a time in the micros. I've grown the account from smaller, and we grow every 1,000 that we make. We put a bigger. So now I'm going to put my orders in. I want to get a couple of them off if I can. Okay, and then play with the rest. So I want to get out $30 profit or $300, depending on the size of contract that you're trading. And then I'm going to put my stop at break even if we get there. And then, of course, we get to play with it. Okay. But you can see that nothing else. We're only in the gold right now. And that's the only true qualifier when you look at, there's no real energy. There's no real panic to the market. So again, we're trading off of the emotions of others. So if there's no emotion, then it doesn't give us the advantage. We have no edge. Okay. So now you should be out of one of your gold if you took it at a profit. Okay. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to take the entire stop and take it to break even. And break even means lock in a tick so that you can cover your cost of trade. But at worst, you'll make between $10 and $100 on this trade. Okay. That's at worst. Okay. And it could get better, but at least you know that you're locked in, you have an open position, and you can get a lot more. So that's kind of what we're watching. And I think we're going to get more to this active business type. You can see suddenly you've got Bitcoin is starting to take off again. Okay. The S&P is starting to take off again. NASDAQ is certainly taking off. Again, they're obviously coming from extreme levels. Okay. That's one thing you have to remember. They're coming from very extreme. So a bounce here is not bullish. Okay. A bounce here, if it fails, is bearish. And of course, a bounce, gold, we are stopped out at a profit of about, and again, depending on the size you're trading, but let's say my size, profit of $15. Okay. So here, I mean, 19,978 is where the 200-day moving average is in the NASDAQ, which would be what you would expect it to rally back to. But if we take a look at let me just make sure we're not missing anything here before. Okay, so we have one trade, we have one winner, and let's just see what the rest of the stocks are doing. Anything else that we usually look at? Apple's been getting pounded. Certainly would look to be a buyer in Apple. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and look at some spreads to sell right now. Hold on, let me get that up. Okay, Apple. And I'm going to sell these for Friday. Now, you do have a lot of news this week, so some of the stuff what we're thinking of doing is a little bit tenuous because CPI is certainly going to be a big number. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and sell a put spread for Apple. Let's see, the 220, 217.50 for $1. I could live with that, and I'm going to go ahead and work that order. Okay, and then Amazon, it's bounced a little bit too far already. It was something you could have looked at earlier. Okay, Coin has had a pretty big bounce, so again, we kind of missed out here. Crowd, again, you can see a lot of these have bounced well off of those numbers and those areas where we look at. And it's important to understand, okay, that we have to be prepared for that. In the Meta is still a potential if you want to trade it. I have never had, sometimes you get unlucky with certain stocks, and I've never had a lot of luck with Meta. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it, but it's certainly a put spread you could sell. Google, again, we did it last week. We made money. We're going to do it again this week and hopefully continue to make money on it. And again, this is normally what I like to consider the first route that you take, okay, when you're trading into a market that you're looking for some action, okay. This is normally the first route. This is the opening of where I start looking at these trades, okay. Because at the end of the day, I'm not ready to make a commitment to the trade yet, a big commitment, because again, I need some more evidence and more proof. Okay. It's unfortunate. We could have held on to our gold. It would be taking care of us right now. But again, I don't worry about what has happened. See, these are not enough volume. They are certainly stuff that we could be looking at potentially selling, but there's just not enough overall action for me to want to. So let's go back to this. IWM is certainly one you may want to look at. And IWM, if you do that, I would be doing that for today. Okay. I would be doing that for today. If we do the 200, 19, oh shit, wrong date. I almost made a wrong trade. Today is the 11th. Okay. It's a little short. It's a little skinny. Okay. But I'm going to go ahead and try to sell the 200. I think 200 is going to hold anyways. So I'm going to sell the 200 to 199 for 33 cents. It's a little skinny. Okay. It's not the greatest trade that I'm ever going to make, but I do think that we're going to get some sort of a bounce. Microsoft, again, is one you could look at as well. MSFT. Okay, 382.50, 380 for $1. I could take that. Okay, 382.50, 380 for $1. Again, I try to get 40% or 40 cents per dollar. Okay, that's kind of how I look at it. Let's just see if anything is worth our time in here. Unfortunately, caught a bad break in gold, but again, we took the money. There's never a shame. Never ashamed to take money, take a profit. Okay. So again, we don't have anything really to overall look at here. Potentially the notes, but again, there's not enough volume. Again, a big part of what we do is based on price and volume. You need them both to want to participate. And we had it, you can see in gold, we don't have it anywhere else right now. So it's not something that I want to be overly involved with. I did get filled on Apple. I did get filled on Microsoft. Okay, I did not get filled on IWM yet. Okay, but I did get filled on those two. So again, we'll see if anything pops here at the last minute. And then we'll just take a look back here and see Monster, which got all the way down and is rallying a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of potential possibilities. We are so oversold and so far below the 200-day moving average that there's a high probability of a big rally at some point this week. Okay, which is obviously what you're playing for. If you're selling put spreads, you're playing for a rally. So I think it's important for you to understand. Let me just take a look at here, see if there's any last minute things to look at. It doesn't appear that we're going to get anything. If there's anything close, I will stay a little bit longer today. But I don't think there's going to be anything close. The one potential could be the Russell. They're not going to get there. Okay. All right, kids. Well, listen, we made a little money, put a couple of trades on. Have a great day. We'll see you back here on Thursday. Remember, every morning I do the Market 120. So we'll see you back here on Thursday. Have a great day, everybody.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.